Welcome to the ProBrick exclusive YouTube channel with Reverend Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist. One thing I don't recommend when you come out of a relationship, for whatever the breakup reason is, and everybody's different, everybody's got their own way of doing things, but from a alpha, wise perception of how I believe men should be for their own health and welfare and the benefit of the people that they engage with, I don't recommend that you go jumping into bed with somebody else. Even with all the temptations and all the lust and desire that will rise up into you to try and heal those wounds, you're not going to heal the wounds. In the long run, you're only going to make more, because the person that you were with that you didn't work out with is going to be still working in your mind, and that's not fair on the person that you're with. You need to go away, deconstruct, process where you went wrong in the relationship, take accountability for that, process what caused the problem and why it happened, lay it out on the table in your mind. Don't worry about the other person. Let them go do whatever they think's best for them. Not your problem anymore. That could go in any direction. Not your problem. You're working on yourself. You see, in life, in relationship, in work, in whatever it is, everything will come back to yourself. You'll be standing before yourself, with yourself. Sounds selfish, but it's not selfish when life's turned on you and you come to the realization that you are actually, I am really, all I've got is myself and maybe a handful of friends, if that. Depends. For me, I've always been a bit of a loner and had no issue with that. That's why I laugh at people. As soon as the word codependent comes up with me and I've met someone, I immediately go, uh-oh, this person's going to probably be codependent themselves. That's a danger, a real horrible danger, because the codependent people may not necessarily bring the codependency into the relationship. Codependency can be used as a shield against a person's relationship. They'll remain emotionally codependent on somebody outside the relationship to protect themselves from a relationship failure. But what they don't realize is the codependency, emotional codependency or codependent affair outside the relationship, is what's going to undermine the relationship. Ultimately, it will undermine the relationship. You have to work out what the levels of emotional contact these people are using with the people around their lives. Because if it's depleting the emotional supply you deserve from that person within the relationship, then that person's not fit to be in a relationship, because they're not functioning properly. They're all scattered all over the place. They don't know how to regulate themselves in a way in which they're going to be a benefit to the person that they're trying to be involved with. And this is why a lot of people wonder, well, what happened? How did this happen? What's going on? And it's too late once you've sort of engaged with, in terms of intimacy, and created a soul tie with a person that's going to lack emotional supply and all the stuff that comes with that. So you have to be very, very careful to know and understand, if you want to be involved with this person, how they regulate themselves emotionally, because people can use codependency against their relationship to protect themselves if they fail in the relationship, or if the other person fails them. People can also use their children as a shield in the emotional realm as well. And it's all unhealthy and it's all dysfunctional, and it really can be go as far as dark triad behavior, because it's deliberate, willful, micro-sabotaging of the relationship. They're micro-damaging the relationship, and some of these things can only be damaged for, so long, and then they crash and collapse. You have to be on your game these days to work out the people that you're dealing with and whether they're truly genuine or not. Oh yeah, they'll say the words and go through the motions, but if you can strip back the layers, you'll find out who's who in the zoo. You really will. You'll find out where the grievances are and the resentments are, and if they're legit or not. And if they're not, guess what? Walk away. Remove yourself from that problem. Remove yourself from that person. They're not regulating themselves properly in the relationship. They're not giving you a legitimate supply. They're not playing their part emotionally in that commitment. They're codependent, but they're not codependent to you. You don't want them to be codependent to you, but you do want to have the proper amount of supply that you need from that person relative to the commitment that you've made to that person and them to you in the relationship. You see, a lot of people can use all the fancy words, say all the fancy things, but if words aren't backed up by physical action or emotional exchange,